I had to make a will. Deion Sanders breaks down as Shedeur's draft slide mirrors Coach Prime's silent health battle. Boulder, Colorado, the past few months have unfolded like a slow-motion tragedy for the Sanders family. Equal parts heartbreak, silence, and revelation. On the surface, the headlines were dominated by Shedeur Sanders' unexpected fall to the 5th round in the 2025 NFL Draft. A drop from top 10 projections that stunned the football world. But behind those headlines, something far more personal and devastating was playing out. A private health crisis that nearly brought Coach Prime to his knees. On July 27th, a clip released by Deion Sanders Jr.'s well-off media peeled back the curtain on what the Sanders family has been enduring in silence. The footage, recorded on May 9th, shows Deion Sanders, once the epitome of swagger and confidence, fighting back tears as he confronts his mortality. "I don't know if I'm ready mentally, emotionally," Sanders said, his voice cracking. "Last night was tough. Yesterday was tough, 'cause I had to make a will. It's just not easy. At all." It was a moment that shook even the most hardened critics of Coach Prime. No bravado, no glitz, just a man facing down his own fragile humanity. Shedeur's draft fall, more than just football. For weeks, analysts and media pundits speculated why Shedeur Sanders, statistically one of the most accomplished quarterbacks in college football, slipped to pick number 144. Rumors flew. Was it his personality? His arrogance? His branding? Was it his father's omnipresence? Was it some unspoken blackballing by NFL insiders wary of Coach Prime's media storm? But now, as Deion Sanders Jr. quietly revealed, the family's world began to unravel in April, just weeks before the draft. That same month, Shedeur was being criticized for skipping interviews and labeled as brass and cocky. His father was quietly battling for his life. "This actually happened in April," Deion Jr. said, "before the draft." The juxtaposition is haunting. As the sports world picked apart Shedeur's draft value like a stock in freefall, the Sanders family was drowning in uncertainty and pain. The headlines missed the truth. The trolls missed the humanity. A father in the shadows. Throughout spring and summer, Coach Prime was conspicuously absent. While the Colorado Buffaloes limped through recruiting drama and off-season preparations, Sanders was hunkered down at his Texas ranch, away from the cameras and chaos. In his place, his children, Deion Jr., Shedeur, Shiloh, and Shalomi, began quietly shouldering the family's emotional load. Tiny windows into Deion's condition came only through breadcrumbs, short, carefully curated clips on well-off media. At times, he seemed energized. At others, fragile and fatigued. The inconsistencies fueled rumors. Was he okay? Was he coming back? Was this the end of Coach Prime as we knew him? The May 9th clip was the breaking point. Suddenly, it all made sense. The draft silence, the Colorado whispers, the absence from public appearances. Deion Sanders wasn't just hiding. He was healing and fearing the worst. A history of medical red flags. Coach Prime's health has been a storyline before, but never this urgent. Back in 2021, while coaching Jackson State, Sanders underwent multiple surgeries due to blood clots. The complications were so severe he had to have 2 toes amputated. Doctors warned of poor circulation and raised concerns that he could lose his entire foot if not cautious. Since then, the warnings have never gone away. As recently as last year, Sanders admitted to needing further procedures for circulation. "I don't want to lose my leg," he said then. So when he says he had to make a will, it's not dramatic. It's real. This isn't a story about a football coach prepping for retirement. It's about a father confronting the haunting possibility that he might not be there to see his sons finish their NFL dreams. And that grief, that shadow, hung heavy over Shedeur's draft moment. Shedeur Sanders, playing through the storm. Despite the storm swirling around him, Shedeur kept a straight face on draft day. The cameras caught smiles, handshakes, and an eventual embrace when the Browns finally called at pick number 144. But behind those eyes was a son who knew what the world didn't, that his father's health was unraveling even as his own career hung in the balance. How do you focus on 40-yard dashes and draft boards when your hero is talking to lawyers about death? How do you read slants and coverages when your home is soaked in fear? Shedeur didn't talk about it. Not then. But now, in the light of this revelation, his fall in the draft doesn't feel like a slide. Feels like survival. Prime's patchwork comeback. Despite the pain, Deion Sanders didn't disappear forever. In early July, he made a surprise appearance at the Big 12 Media Days. His face was thinner, his gait was slower, but he showed up. Then he flew to Tampa to visit Shedeur Sanders at Buccaneers training camp. A quiet visit. No press, no drama. Just a dad watching his son pursue a dream. Still, when asked about his condition, Prime didn't sugarcoat it. "I ain't all the way recovered," he said in a July 20th video. "But I'm here today. I'm handling my responsibilities." It was the first public confirmation of what fans feared and speculated all summer, that his absence wasn't strategy. It was survival. Is he ready to coach again? Now all eyes are on Monday, July 28th. Coach Prime is set to hold his first full press conference in months, flanked not just by Buffalo staff, but by his medical team. The University of Colorado has labeled it a routine team and general update. But fans aren't buying it. You don't surround your head coach with doctors for a routine camp preview. Not when that coach has spent months dodging death and making a will. The presser, set to stream at 11 a.m. Mountain Time on Colorado's YouTube, Facebook, and ESPN+, promises to be one of the most emotionally charged events of the offseason. Will Deion address his medical future? Will he discuss his decision to return? Or will he finally open up about how close he came to stepping away, for good? A family wounded, but unbroken. Through it all, the Sanders family has leaned on each other. Deion Jr. has been the documentarian, offering rare glimpses into their world. Shiloh has risen to the challenge of NFL camp. Shalomi, battling her own health battles, has continued to be a quiet inspiration. And Shedeur, carrying both his father's legacy and his own dreams, has shown unwavering resilience in Cleveland. But perhaps the most powerful part of this story isn't just the survival. It's the grace with which it's all been handled. Coach Prime hasn't lashed out at the media who mocked his son's draft night. He hasn't clapped back at fans who called him overhyped. Instead, he made a will. And now he's choosing to live. The emotional whiplash of being Prime. What makes Deion Sanders such a magnetic figure isn't just his career accolades. It's the duality he embodies. He's both preacher and performer. He'll dance one moment, then choke up the next. He'll smile through pain and drop truth bombs in the middle of laughter. But lately, even his swagger limps a little. One day, he's joking about prosthetics. "They gon' find me a 20-25 foot, and I'll still hit that dance." The next, he's crying in a video saying goodbye just in case. That tension, that vulnerability, makes his journey compelling. And Monday's press conference isn't just a health update. It's a human moment, the kind that makes football feel small in the face of life. Final thoughts. Prime's legacy isn't written yet. Deion Sanders has always controlled his narrative. From Must Be the Money to the Hall of Fame to HBCU Revolution to Colorado Chaos, he's always been the author of his story. But this chapter? This one was written in blood pressure, hospital beds, and late-night prayers. This one reminded us all that behind the sunglasses and sound bites is a man, a father, a fighter, and for the first time, perhaps, a survivor. Shedeur's fall in the draft was never about talent. It was about timing, turbulence, and the invisible battles being fought behind closed doors. And now, as Coach Prime returns to the sideline, that battle continues. Not for fame, not for clout, but for life. They gon' hate anyway. Deion Sanders Jr. stands tall behind Travis Hunter as NFL rookie sends chilling message to doubters. Jacksonville, Florida, when Travis Hunter walks onto a football field, there's no doubt whose presence commands the room. The former Colorado Buffaloes phenom, Heisman candidate, an undisputed two-way football anomaly now calls the Jacksonville Jaguars home. And yet, despite an unmatched collegiate resume and an NFL debut drenched in expectation, one thing continues to follow him like a shadow: doubt. Doubt from haters, doubt from critics, doubt from corners of the football world that still refuse to accept the dominance of a player who rewrote rules at the college level and dares to do the same in the pros. But Hunter isn't backing down. Not even close. Just smile. They don't know what to say, so they're just going to keep hating, Hunter said with calm defiance after week 1 of Jaguars training camp. Backed by the unwavering support of the Sanders family, especially Deion Sanders Jr., aka Bucky, Travis Hunter has fired his first public shot in what promises to be an emotional, narrative-shattering rookie season. And the forward message from Deion Jr. couldn't be more clear. They gon' hate anyway. The phenomenon nobody wants to understand. To appreciate the gravity of Hunter's early NFL experience, you have to rewind to what he represented at the college level. A player who made history by committing to Jackson State in a move that shook the foundations of college recruiting. A 5-star prospect who followed Coach Prime, not the Blue Bloods. A defensive lockdown corner who also lined up as a WR1 and excelled at both. He didn't just play both sides. He dominated. At Colorado, his opening weekend masterpiece against TCU, where he logged over 120 snaps and racked up 100-plus yards receiving plus a key interception, became instant folklore. SportsCenter clips, Instagram reels, talk show breakdowns. Travis Hunter wasn't just the next big thing. He was the rare case of the thing being even bigger than the hype. And yet, even after a stellar draft experience, questions continue to follow. Can he handle two-way play in the NFL? Is he too cocky? Is he another product of Colorado's overhyped pipeline? Those whispers have become louder, but so has Hunter's conviction. People scare me, dog. Travis Hunter's real moment. On his podcast, Travis Hunter gave fans a rare glimpse into the emotional weight he carries. People scare me, dog, because you never know who got good intentions. It wasn't about football, schemes, or criticism of his hands or hip movement. It was about trust, fear, humanity. For a player who has spent the past 3 years being hailed as a generational talent, that statement hit different. Because Hunter isn't afraid of routes or coverages. He's afraid of people. The ones who smile in public and question his dedication in private. The ones who use his confidence as evidence of arrogance. The ones who see his talent and still choose disrespect. But the Sanders family has built armor for this kind of attack. Deion Sanders Jr.'s 4 words of fire. Bucky, as he's affectionately known, didn't need a paragraph, just a repost, a video clip of Travis speaking his truth, and 4 words that cut through the noise. They gon' hate anyway. It wasn't just a show of support. It was a declaration, a reminder to Hunter and the world that he isn't walking this NFL journey alone. Deion Sanders Jr., himself a former college athlete and now the digital voice of Coach Prime's empire, has been on the front lines of every narrative battle the Sanders family has faced, whether it's Shedeur's draft critics, Shiloh's development, or Coach Prime's media firestorms. And now, Travis Hunter, practically family to the Sanders clan, is firmly under his wing. From Heisman hopeful to NFL target, few rookies arrive in the NFL with the dual weight of expectation and skepticism that Hunter now carries. Heisman attention? Check. Top-tier highlight reel? Check. Questioned motives and character? Also sadly check. Even as Hunter joined the Jaguars, the commentary hasn't slowed. His pre-draft declaration that he would only sign with a team willing to let him play both offense and defense raised eyebrows. Many insiders thought it was too bold, too ambitious. But Jacksonville obliged. And in week 1 of camp, Travis made sure to show why that gamble was worth it. Logging 47 defensive snaps and 36 on offense. That's 83 total, in full NFL speed, in the brutal Florida heat. That's not a flash in the pan. That's commitment, endurance, reality. Still, the haters lurked. And that's when Hunter, once again, chose silence over shouting. I'm already doing all this extra work. You're gonna keep trying to tell me I can't do the same thing that I've been doing and showing you. Let that sink in. A 22-year-old rookie with more miles on his cleats than some second contract vets, being told he's trying too hard or doing too much. But instead of lashing out, he got quieter, stronger, and deadlier. A culture of criticism. Why Colorado still has enemies. Some of the hate Hunter faces isn't personal. It's cultural. Ever since Deion Sanders took over at Colorado and flipped the script on college football culture, bringing swagger, media attention, nil prominence, and unorthodox player empowerment, certain corners of the football world haven't been pleased. They don't like players talking like CEOs. They don't like Coach Prime calling out systemic inequalities. And they don't like Colorado stars, no matter how good, being celebrated like legends before their pro careers even begin. Hunter knows this. Shedeur knows this. Bucky lives this. And that's why, even now, after Travis has graduated to the NFL stage, the shots keep coming. It's less about football, more about fear. The fear of change. Of a new wave of player empowerment led by stars who won't be boxed in. Hunter, like Deion before him, won't fit anyone's mold. He'll break it. A rookie with a veteran's composure. During his post-practice presser this week, a reporter asked Hunter what the most annoying thing about the criticism was. His answer? A smile. Not a rant, not a tweet storm, just a smile. I just smile. They don't know what to say, so they're just going to keep hating. That's a level of maturity rare even among seasoned pros. And it's a lesson not just for his doubters, but for every young athlete stepping into a spotlight that burns as bright as the one currently shining on Hunter. Ignore the hate. Own your work. Let your game talk. Hunter and Lawrence, the quietly explosive combo. On the football side, things are looking up. Jaguars QB Trevor Lawrence has reportedly taken a keen interest in integrating Hunter into the offense. The duo has already connected multiple times during red zone drills and sideline go routes. Insiders believe Hunter could emerge not just as a novelty weapon, but a legitimate WR2 option by mid-season, while still taking on key defensive assignments. That versatility, that's what made Shohei Ohtani a global phenomenon in baseball. And guess what? Travis Hunter already compared himself to Ohtani, and many believe he might just be the NFL version. I got a harder job than Shohei Ohtani, Hunter once said on his podcast. You ever try running 50 routes then chasing a receiver? Fair point. Final thoughts. Hate all you want, Hunter's not going anywhere. Takes a special kind of athlete to handle this moment. Travis Hunter isn't just managing it, he's mastering it. Backed by the Sanders family. Fueled by the fire of past snubs. Anchored in silence. He's letting the work speak. Letting the film roll. And letting the haters drown in their own narratives. They gon' hate anyway, Deion Jr. said. And maybe that's true. But if the haters keep talking, they better speak up, because Travis Hunter's footsteps are getting louder. And soon, the only sound anyone will hear is applause.